You wanted it, now you got it. Oh yeah, you'll be entertained. Welcome to the House of Grim podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the House of Grim podcast. I'm your host, Grim Grimes, and my co-host is
Dan Bob.
Dan Bob. We got our House of Grim family member, our very own Uncle Joey Diaz, pretty much, Slender Man.
Yes, sir.
And Slenderman has brought a friend to us to interview, to question, and his name is Crawley.
I don't know which way he is on my, but on my screen he's this way.
He's above me. All right, so Crawley did some independent wrestling. If you guys watched the last episode, our tens, and I mean tens of fans, soon to be hundreds and hundreds.
It's climbing.
Yeah, it's climbing. I'm not looking forward to 100. He's going to try to crush my car at 100. We'll see about that. I put the link to your match that Slenderman had sent us in the description of the last video for everybody to check out.
Yes, sir.
I have to say, I watched it. My brothers watched it. Man, you were moving in that ring, man. Like, athletic. I couldn't believe you did that moonsault. I'm like, man.
That was the first time I ever attempted a moonsault, other than on a trampoline.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
It was
Wow.
That was wild, dude. And that spear you took it looked devastating. Yeah. And then your finisher, I told Slenderman I had to run that back a second time. I'd never seen that before, dude.
Yeah, that finisher you did with that flip buster move, I was like, wait a minute.
The Canadian Destroyer?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. That flip move you did, that one was crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. Let's get into one of the questions I have for you. So, was wrestling something you were always passionate about, and did it help you lead to your decision to find a way into the business?
Yes, definitely. Very early on, my older brother and I would watch wrestling, and very young, we actually went to a show locally at Notre Dame. It was when WWF was still allowed there. For whatever reason, they weren't allowed there anymore. I don't know why, but I remember seeing Diesel and Shawn Michaels in versus somebody. I think Razor Ramon was in the mix, but that was I loved it. So yeah, I fell in love with it then.
Gotcha. Yeah, sounds like me and my brother. We grew up like a wrestling household, just watching wrestling. My brother, he got to go to a lot more events than I did because he was older, and my mom took him to quite a few events, so he got to experience that. I think I went to, like I said, back in the day, like a house show.
One of the main shows that stick out to me, we went to, it was a Monday Nitro, WCW Monday Nitro at Palace of Auburn Hills, and we went to our local mall, and they had a store there called Gadzooks, and they had these like different t-shirts on the wall. One of the t-shirts me and my mom got was a navy blue shirt, yellow writing said security. So we're standing by the back entrance where all the wrestlers and workers go in and out, and they were like, "Hey, you two, let's go. What are you standing out here for?" My mom looked at me. I was like, "Come on, let's go." Man, we must have been back there like 15 minutes before we got kicked out, before they realized we weren't security. And but we met Goldberg, Buff Bagwell. Man, we was able to meet quite a few wrestlers that day.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Great. It was a memory for me and my mom. You know what I mean? That'll stand out to me forever. So it was pretty cool.
Just sneaking into places together.
Great.
Crawley, when did you break in? Like, when did you start training?
Year, I'm not sure, but I was about probably 19, I would say. That match that you had the link to,
Yeah.
that was at Coveleski Stadium, which was a single A baseball team for, at the time, Arizona Diamondbacks.
Okay.
Now the Cubs own them now, but it was a baseball stadium, and the booker, Brian the Crippler Costello, who I think holds the world record for longest title reign, like on the books.
Mm-hmm.
That might have been broken by now, but at the time he had that. And I asked him why he had that, or why he won't give the title up. He said he does. He wants to, but nobody wants to take it for whatever reason. But he would hold a show once a year at the stadium, and we did, my group of friends, we did backyard wrestling.
Okay.
I mean, if we had a ring, we would definitely been in a ring, but we were too poor to have a ring, so backyard it was.
I dig it.
I worked there. A few of my friends and I worked at the stadium, of course, being in love with wrestling. We would, he would let us set the ring up and stuff, and fool around in the ring. And eventually I asked him, in the future, is there any way that we can be on the card and wrestle? And he said, if you get trained, we can do that.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That leads me into my next question for you. Who did you train with, and did you have a hard time finding a school at the time? Because I know, like, it's probably a little bit easier now, because a lot of the wrestlers advertise their schools and all that, where, like, back in the day, it was more like,
more underground.
Underground, yeah.
Yeah. It was actually a startup. It wasn't like a real school. Actually, that match in particular, we had just had backyard training or backyard wrestling experience at that point. And when we wrestled, the guy I wrestled in the match is one of my really good friends. Someone in the crowd saw us and somehow or another got in contact with us or someone we knew and said he was starting a company up. He wanted to start some up, and he was looking for people to train. So we jumped on it real quick. And to be honest, I don't remember their names. There was nobody famous, nobody you would know in the business, but they cared, and they taught us everything they knew, and we would hold shows in Elkhart, Indiana for a while.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
So how many places did you travel to?
It was based in Elkhart, Indiana, and we did a couple in Goshen, Indiana, which isn't too far from Elkhart. So it was all local. I didn't do it that long enough to actually get booked in other states and stuff. I gave up on it a lot sooner than I wanted to, but that's just the way it works.
Right, life kind of, took its course.
I had a really, really good job opportunity, and I couldn't have passed it up, so I took it.
Can't pass up good money when there's good money, yeah.
Yeah. There were other reasons why I took the job, or I quit wrestling. Well, actually, it'll lead into a question you got later, so I'll wait for that.
All right. Sliderman, you got any questions? I know you had said you were going to come up with some.
Well, so far he's been answering the questions that I've had in my head so far. He's been really detailed about all the questions he's been answering. So I think he's doing great. If I come up with something while you're still asking questions, I'll jump in.
Oh yeah, feel free.
Don't worry about it.
Feel free.
No,
go ahead, Dan Bob.
Well,
So, whenever you were at any of the shows you were booked on, were there ever any named superstars that might have been there or involved?
At the beginning, nobody you guys would know, or anybody would know for that matter. But when it started picking up steam, of course, right around the time I quit, they booked Badass Billy Gunn.
Oh wow!
But I was already gone by then. By the time they got him.
Okay.
Oh wow!
I also have the card from that link I gave you. That's at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Somewhere down there. Yeah, we're at the very bottom, but we're on Uncle Gus.
That's
Actually,
awesome.
just my mom found that at her house like 3 months ago. I forgot I even had it.
Nice.
That's,
Let's see. How long would you say you did it for exactly? Like time period?
Well, my buddy that I wrestled with in the video, I was actually asking him earlier because it's 20 years ago at this point, and he didn't last as long, even though he could have. And I'd say this truthfully, if he wanted to, I think he could have made it all the way. He was exceptionally talented, and not only that, but he had a mind for the business. Like a lot of moves used. Oh, the LA Knight's finisher.
Uh-huh.
I forgot what it's called, BFE or something.
Yeah.
The stunner type move. My friend of mine, he invented that back in '99, and there's still moves.
Wow.
He still has a couple moves that he invented that no one's ever done that I've seen. So he could have made it, but he quit earlier than I did. It was more of a transportation issue. Again, we're teenagers, so
right.
I was lucky enough to have a car, and I think I went on for about a year. It was only about a year. It wasn't that long.
Gotcha.
Wow!
A year professionally, getting paid. But before that, a couple of years with the backyard wrestling stuff, and we had a show in cable access. So we.
Oh really?
Yeah. I know backyard wrestling is looked down upon, and
I mean,
I get it.
one of the biggest superstars of all time started that way. Mick Foley, he was doing backyard wrestling.
Yeah.
So that's the way I look at it. I mean, you start where you can,
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Our moniker was always, we're not backyard wrestlers. We're wrestlers without a ring.
Yeah.
We didn't have a ring, and if we could have gotten one, we definitely would have, and our parents would have been pissed.
So if somebody, since you're not doing it no more and haven't done it in quite some time, if somebody was to reach out to you and say, hey, I'd like to book you for this show, would you give it a go again?
Honestly, I don't think so. A part of the wrestling, I got really bad back issues, and 5 years ago, I would have said yes, but they've gotten pretty bad, and it sucks. if I was healthy, I would definitely try. I wouldn't quit my job for it, but I would try it. I love doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that you were all into it when you were in that match, man. Because, like I said, you were putting on a show. You and Playboy. So,
yeah.
I mean,
I want to say something right here. I got a question. Would you say, well, since you were in wrestling professionally for a while, I'm pretty sure you had to go through, warm ups, training courses, or no? Did you not?
Yeah. Well, when we first met those guys, and his plan was to start something. He had a ring in his backyard, so we would show up. I don't know, a couple times a week for a few hours, and he would show us all the basic stuff. Some of us were more advanced than others. I guess I'll toot my own horn. I felt like I was pretty advanced. At least that's what the guy told me. But yeah, just ring psychology and just the small stuff.
Okay. Then let
Which
me
way
ask
you circle around the ring when you're going to tie up?
Gotcha.
Which arm you clothesline guys with? Stuff like that.
Okay. All right. Have you ever done anything other, like athletic wise, like maybe football or baseball?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Because this leads to my main question, what I was going to ask previously. But have you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in middle school, I did football. I mean, we're talking like grade school and stuff.
Right.
In high school, I wasn't interested in football. And that actually leads to another question you have for me later. But the football, I just wasn't passionate about it. And
Okay.
at the same time, I got a job, and I had a girlfriend too, so girls were on my mind. Ironically, football would have helped, which I didn't put two and two together back then. But I had a job with my buddies, serving beer, as 17-year-olds in an area with a lot of drunk chicks. That seemed more interesting at the time.
All right. So this leads to my main question. Do you think that the way to keep up your conditioning in wrestling is a lot more difficult than to keep it up for, say, football or baseball or soccer or any other sport you can think of? Because I've been told by a few wrestlers that, well, not professional wrestlers, these are just people that have been in like gyms, like, wrestling gyms, been wrestling for a while. They say that wrestling conditioning and warm-ups are the most difficult to do in any sport you can think of. They're the most difficult, and they keep you better conditioned.
I would say, having done football and wrestling, for me it depended on who the coaches were.
Okay.
Football coaches made us work.
A lot of sense. Yeah, of course.
The wrestling trainers, we didn't do a whole lot of like running around the track or anything like that. But I would imagine in an actual wrestling school, like more popular one, there would probably be a lot more strength and conditioning. But I think the only difference I could think of is in wrestling, it's your physique is more important than how strong you are. Like, you got to look good. Right. So if you want to make it or go, having a good body is the best thing you could do for wrestling, really.
Either a good body or a unique body,
Yeah, I mean, I got Lex Luger over, a lot of other guys who lacked really good wrestling skill. But so I think that's another part of it, is the look, the physique, the aesthetic, all that stuff.
Now, was there a move that like didn't look devastating? Like, it didn't look like it would hurt all that much, but actually did, and vice versa. There's a move that looked like it hurt, but really didn't.
One move that I never like to take is more of a bump than a move. So any bump, like a diamond cutter or not a follow slam, a flapjack, right? Where a face bump where you land on your face. For some reason, I really did not like that, and it hurt, because when you're taking bumps in a ring, the first 20 bumps always hurt. So a part of the conditioning before a show is to get in and take some bumps, warm up, run the ropes, and but for me the face bump, I hated it. I really did not like it. As far as moves go, it just depends on the guy. Clotheslines, depending on the guy, can hurt. They can clip you like a little too high, or they got a little bit too much mustard on it. That sucks. And
Yeah.
For the reverse, a move that looked devastating but wasn't. I loved going through tables. I
Really?
loved it.
I always
It
thought that
broke
would
my
hurt
fall.
so bad.
No, it for me it would break my fall. It's maybe I'm the perfect weight for it, but just landing through a table, it didn't feel great, but it's better than landing on the wrestling mat. And another one for me was a DDT. Because for me, I would always. Some guys had a hard time taking it, but for me, I think everybody's arm bone is longer than their neck and head. So I would put my arm down and land on my elbow so I can spike myself like RVD used to.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people would say, "Whoa, hey, like, are you okay? Is your neck okay?" Yeah, I'm fine, because my neck was never touched because my elbow is taking my rotary cuff. Probably not great, but the neck had fine.
Right in.
So what about chops to the chest?
Yeah, they hurt.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough where my gimmick was to wear overalls, so it just worked out that way. I never really had to take a full chop, but I've taken them before, and they suck. I mean, they're 100%. A lot of it's scripted and pre-planned, and we all know that by now. But
Yeah.
chops are designed to be as loud as humanly possible. So guys are going to swing hard.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. Because every time you hear it in the wrestling, all you hear is boom, just loud, just bah.
Yeah.
And everybody's just like, oh, and they do it again, boom, oh.
Yeah.
Get the
Gets you
big
going. It gets you
get the
going.
big show in there with his big,
He's
frying pan size hand.
It's the big slow.
That's what they called me in high school, the Big Show.
Really?
I was a big dude. I was a pretty big dude, so that's what they called me. I didn't mind.
You kind of got like the John Moxley look. I don't know, for some reason.
I can see
I guess
it.
I do a little bit.
Meredith.
What are some difficulties you came across trying to get into the wrestling business?
Getting in, well, it was a happy accident getting into it. Some of the difficulties, this is a part of the reason why I stopped, was I'm at my core, I'm an antisocial type person, and you just can't be that in the wrestling business. Aside from that, the good job that I got, there was a few other reasons why I quit. One was getting, you have to work with strangers. That was going to be is inevitable. If you want to go forward in that business, you're going to have to meet a lot of strangers and work with them.
Right. Of course.
One of my first, we had some guys out of town come in for a show, and we had some guy, I don't know who he was, but he just kept bragging about training with Mick Foley and that he's better than everybody, and that shit drives me nuts. And the other thing that really made me quit was, and it was gross. We were warming up before a show, some guys from out of town, and some guy, we're all kind of sitting resting, and sort of in the middle of the ring, near the ropes, he blew a snot rocket onto the ring.
Oh,
and we're not talking like a little booger. We're talking like it could feel like a little medicine cup or Robitussin. It was a lot of snot. And he did that and just went back to doing what he was doing. And that was another big moment for me. Like it's more, I guess, about the people that I would be working with. Because that is disgusting to me.
Rolling around it, your face is in the mat.
Yeah, exactly. Your face could fall on that part of the mat.
That's
that's fucking disgusting. Yeah,
it's disrespectful to the next guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, man,
The next.
So
like, a part of the job, you're gonna get blood and sweat on you. That's fine.
Blood, sweat, sure, but don't fucking spit on the mat, man. Don't fucking
nasty shit.
Yeah,
It was a lot. It was the biggest snot rocket I've ever seen.
Yeah, don't do that. Please tell me it wasn't green.
It was yellow.
Oh God, I said don't tell me. Fuck.
I should have said something. I should have brought it up, but I mean, I'm 19 at the time, just breaking in the business.
Oh, it's fine because this is your experience. This is what gave you the reasons to not be there anymore. So it's
part of it, yeah.
Think it's okay.
Let me ask you this. I hear a lot of wrestlers talk about handshakes and how important they were. Did you find that to be the case in the locker room you were in, like, or no?
Oh, like kayfabe stuff,
like shaking hands, like.
Yeah, we were told that early on when we were being trained. We were told to introduce yourself to everybody and be cool. The thing though was, in our thing we started up. A lot of the guys in there, we all knew each other, except for maybe one or two out-of-towners. So, and I think it was maybe a part of my generation, but I felt like I didn't need to. I regret not introducing myself to people I didn't know. That was a big mistake. And even at that show at the baseball stadium, probably the biggest one in my career, in the back, it was just, shock and awe. Like, there's a lot of guys have been in the business for a long time. It was Paul Roma was in there and Tito Santana. We're talking like big dudes.
Right,
and
yeah.
I was too afraid. I was too afraid to go introduce they're not going to want to meet some local kid with 5 months experience or whatever. So I kept to myself.
Gotcha. What would be some advice you would give somebody that is currently trying to get into the business?
It's going to be probably a long answer. Hope I don't ramble on too long.
Hey,
we're fine, man.
We got plenty of time. Yeah. So.
All right. I would tell someone if they're interested, but they're not passionate, give up. Because you're going to have to go through a lot of shit. Traveling, dealing with stupid people, and a lot of these guys don't even make it. It's a hard road to go down.
By some people getting stiff.
One of the guys we started backyard wrestling together, but he trained with us as well. He's still doing it. He had the passion. I guess I'll give a shout out. Gary Wilson, or Brutus Dillon, is his gimmick. Yeah, he's local. He introduced me to Ruby Soho before she became anything. Wow. She trained down here.
Nice.
Yeah, so
very cool.
Before all the tattoos, she was pretty normal looking. But that was her. So for someone wanting to break in, they really have to be dedicated to do so, or it's going to chew them up. And also another thing is, I would explain to them all the downsides of the traveling, the pain, because you don't get insurance working for these independent companies.
Right.
Unless you have insurance through a family member or something. But if you're on your own and you don't have a good job, you have shit insurance, and that's important. It's very easy to get injured while wrestling. So I would tell someone, if you're dedicated enough, I would say look for a school somewhere that has a little bit of notoriety, a little bit of a name, and just try. If you're passionate enough, try to get there, or find something as close to you as possible. Try it out. And these trainers, like the legit ones, not the ones I worked with, because we're all starting up at the same time pretty much, but they're going to put you through the ringer to weed out the bad ones. I think every single one of them is going to do that. So just find something local, look it up. We have the internet now. It shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
And just do that.
Then most of the wrestlers, like I said, who do have a school, advertise them now, so.
Yeah, I'd love to have a ring. I'd put a ring in my backyard right now. Powerbomb Grim.
I don't think you could lift me no more. Big little bro.
We'll just turn into a pile driver instead.
It's devastating. What's your thoughts on today's product?
Not a fan. Another thing I talked
of either big company or
earlier. Huh?
Of either big company? You're not a fan of either one?
I don't know where to watch AEW. I'd be interested in watching it, but I don't have cable or anything here.
I think it's on the CW. Well, here in LA, it's on the CW. I don't know where it is over there.
I think
I
it's mainly like TNT, but yeah, I don't got cable either, so I just keep up with stuff for the most part.
Yeah, I'm interested. I would watch it if it was an easy way to watch it. What's that one guy's name? Swerve Strickland?
Yeah.
I like watching him. He's awesome. And there's tons of guys over there that are awesome. As far as I can speak on WWE, because I watch that every now and then. What really bugs me is I'm not into this Roman Reigns thing. They pushed him for I don't know how many years. People weren't into it. I guess they're into it now, but they just shoved down our throat, and it's not my thing. And also, because it's for whoever who's in contention for the title, it seems like there's only two guys. I miss the old days where there was 8 to 10 guys that could win the world championship. You know, man. Jericho, Rock, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, Randy Orton, Batista. You could name off a bunch of dudes that were there at the same time, and any one of those guys could win, and that was exciting. But now it's who's Roman Reigns going to beat? Cody Rhodes. So, and also, it's too predictable. Maybe that's because I'm kind of an insider to how a little bit of that stuff works. But these last few pay-per-views that I've seen, I haven't seen them all, but the last 3, we've predicted we have like a 95% success rate on predicting the winner of the match. To me, it's just too predictable.
Okay.
Knowing how the business works.
Gotcha.
I know, Grim, we predicted some of the stuff that's taken place so far.
Yeah.
You got a point. You know what I mean?
Called the Survivor Series War Games matchup. Called that. So I can see where it can be predictable at times. I myself, I watched, all the way up until like 2009. Like when I first went away to college, that's when I stopped really watching because, life got in the way, just work, school, and I picked back up like 2014, so like toward the end of the Shield, and so when they started pushing Roman, I was not into it, but like when he turned heel and the run he had as champion and all that,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
There's something about him that for me changed personally. Like I'm like, I can watch his matches, and I can get into like the stuff he does. I feel like he's a better heel than he is a face.
Right. And right now you got a point, because right now I'm worried about his character, honestly, because before all the way up to WrestleMania with Cody, bro, he was like this unstoppable, like almost gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like what? Now he's like standing there just looking like, even Solo was like you ain't got no tribe. You know what I mean? Like how can you be a tribal chief when you ain't got no tribe?
Yeah.
So, like, what's his character gonna be like now? You know what I'm saying?
Having a bloodline isn't a bad idea, but it's really who's in the bloodline. You got Sunday night main event Jey Uso, who only does a super kick apparently. That's all I ever see him do. And his
All right,
brother, who also does super kicks.
He's eating now.
Yeah, I don't know what that word means. Still to this day,
Trust me, me neither. I'm not into the whole yeet thing, so I can get that. You know what I'm saying? But I think wrestlers in general overuse the super kick. Like a whole generation was like, Shawn Michaels is badass, and they all took the same move and they all do it. And,
yeah.
I think
the same
Shawn
as like
Michaels,
a punch now.
I think Shawn Michaels
Like a punch or a chop.
had some like sexual thing going on.
That you know, and I don't know. I feel like that's the other thing. Like, I feel like the last time I was really interested in it was NXT when they had the not Untouchables, Undisputed era. They had. I really liked Velveteen Dream. I thought he could go.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a bunch of guys in that era that they put on a show, and it was awesome. And, yeah.
Well, I thought
and also
bring back Dream. But,
yeah, he got in some trouble though.
Some legal issues. Yeah, something.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
You know.
Allegedly.
I don't know if that's true. Maybe it is. I wish it wasn't because I enjoyed watching him. He was exciting to watch.
I think a lot of like the issue, was that they would build up all this steam and all this, popularity in NXT, get shot up to the main roster. Vince wouldn't do anything with them, but
he would feed him to Roman Reigns.
Yeah, well, not even Roman. He'd feed him to anybody.
Yeah,
or he just change their name, change their gimmick instantly, like. So yeah, I feel like now that he's gone and Triple H is booking and running things, I really feel like things are going to turn around, especially once they finally get on Netflix and they move away from PG. Man,
yes,
it's gonna.
Speaking of
change,
look, I'm gonna tell you something. When I was watching wrestling a lot, there was a lot of great stuff that happened. But I think when I stopped watching it for a couple years, it was around the time where the Nexus came out with that. What's that guy's
I like
name?
Wade Barrett.
Wade Barrett, yeah, that guy. Yeah, when the Nexus came out and they were all on Cena. Yeah. I mean, I know he was the baby phase or whatever, but I was like,
you just could.
But I was like, that little motherfucker deserves it.
Oh, don't lie.
Get him rid of the
don't lie. I know you got John Cena sheets and blanket.
Do you really think so, John Cena?
I had one of his armbands. He threw at a show.
Oh,
nice.
My wife at the time, her sister caught it, and it hit my chest.
You stole it out her shit, right?
My what?
You took it out her shit, right? Like, you took that shit back?
Oh, after I took my hand out of her pants, yeah. No, I lost it in the lights because I wasn't really paying attention, and I hear people around you going nuts, berserk. There's a bunch of kids. We were pretty close to the front row, non-televised, but I just happened to look up and I see this object flying at me, and it hit me in the chest. And like a zombie movie, all these arms came after me. But my sister-in-law snatched it, put it in her purse right away, and we gave it to the step kid, and of course he lost at school.
It happens.
Oh,
yeah. But real quick, I wanted to take a step back. Something I think I would like for them to do. I guess it's controversial, but going back to your other question, something that looked devastating but wasn't was a chair shot to the head. Unless you're really trying to hurt someone, it's not that bad. Especially hit them right here. It's the hardest spot on your head, on your body, pretty much.
Yep.
If you hit him in the right spot and wasn't trying to swing for the fences, it sounded good, it looked good, and it didn't hurt that bad. But I'm sure there's some repercussions to the brain.
I don't think they'll ever go back to doing that. Not the WWE anyways, because just they've had too many lawsuits for CTE.
Yeah.
So
Right.
AEW is going to get their time for CTE lawsuits.
No, yeah.
Crippled Darby Allin's going to roll in there one day into the courtroom.
He's really going to be in a coffin.
Yeah. Yeah, man. The stuff he does, like I've said before, just I don't know why they let him do it.
I mean,
I
he's
haven't seen too much.
a stunt man. You know, he's his own stunt man. You know, I guess as long as he does it properly or feels he can do it, and if he's doing something and not getting too hurt, like permanently hurt, you know, a little banged up bruises and scratches, you know, falling down a flight of steps. You know,
He's going to feel it one day. He's going to feel it.
It was for me the like spot where he fell off that ladder from in the ring or whatever it was and went through that thing of glass.
Yeah.
I mean, that could have went so wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
That could have got on the fans.
could have got the fans. Could have got cut an artery. A lot of different things.
I'm sure it was like sugar glass or something. You know what I mean? I'm sure it was fake glass.
I would imagine so, yeah.
I would hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely so.
I just don't see them using real glass that close to fans. You know what I mean? That would be a liability.
That's a good point.
See, I like when AEW first came out. You know, I was into it. I'm like,
dude, they had so much steam, bro. It was moving.
Yeah, I was excited because it was just something different, you know. And I actually went to a AEW Dynamite in Nashville, because I remember MJF threw like Cody over the ring rope, and they were like holding onto his tie, kind of choking him, and then like at the end, like Jericho, he's in this match, and I just remember him grabbing somebody's beer and throwing it, and somebody in the crowd like, that's $10, losing their mind. So, but when I was there, there's one thing that stuck out to in my mind, and it was because I listened to a lot. I listened to Jim Cornette quite a bit, like his podcasts. So
Right.
I love hearing that man talk trash, but I don't agree with all his opinions. And at the time, I'm like, I'm giving AEW a chance, dude. I don't care what he says, but he always talked trash about Marco Stunt. And man, I see that man come out for a match, and it took me right out of it because people are like shouting, "That's my daughter," and just shitting on the man in the crowd. I'm like, wow, yeah, he might be a little too small for this.
Yeah. That's funny. That's my daughter. That's hilarious.
I know Cesaro's over there. I'm a huge fan of his.
Yeah, I liked him, man. King of Swing.
Look.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome. And they WWE lost a lot of good talent around that time to AEW.
Yep.
But it's understandable because they wouldn't do anything with these guys. These guys that maybe deserved a title shot. Keith Lee, another one.
I liked Rusev, man. He was different.
That dude was awesome.
Yeah. So, and unfortunately, he ended up leaving. But I think a lot of people are going to start coming back to the WWE.
Yeah,
Dude,
probably.
I'm glad MJF really didn't leave AEW, but I don't think I'm glad Cody was able to leave AEW and get the WWE title that his father was chasing.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was Tony Khan, I would have never let him go. I'd have did whatever I could to keep him. You know what I mean? And then
I think there's something to it more than that. Like there's a falling out somewhere.
Yeah, they had a falling out somewhere for sure. There's something that took place, that they obviously don't want to talk about because it's deep. You know what I mean? Because nobody's bringing it up. You know what I'm saying? On either side. And they've taken some shots at Cody here and there. You know.
Wasn't it something to do with his wife?
I think it may have been because
Isn't
like,
his wife,
people were complaining about her on TV.
Yeah, he just came out with Cody just came out with a video or something saying that it wasn't not to deal with Brandy. He's
okay.
a rumor, but
Ooh.
you know he could just be talking shit.
I want to get everybody's take on this. I seen on Friday Night SmackDown that they finally made a women's U.S. title, so they've added a mid card to the women's division. What do you guys think about that?
I like it.
More TV time.
Finally.
I agree. Finally.
Finally.
They need an Intercontinental title.
Finally.
Well, one thing at a time.
Yeah.
You're right.
They
Hey,
need a little bit more
Now they got 3 titles now, right? They got the women's title,
in U.S.
tag team, and U.S.
Yeah, well, I mean they have Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion, so yeah, maybe add the IC title and make it one brand or the other, and the US title one brand or the other.
Whatever happened to the European title?
It was I think it's
or
somebody like
the
was holding
title.
Somebody was holding the IC title and they won the European title, and that's it. They just merge them, yeah. So they did a lot of that. A lot of the titles were merged, you know. It's just a way to get them off TV.
I wish they could get Sasha Banks back. I thought she was a big asset for them.
I think she would do better in WWE than she is in AEW because her AEW stuff has been kind of meh.
I've heard that. I haven't seen any of it, but I heard it's not the greatest.
You can tell she needs somebody writing her promos. You know, she's not
that bad.
Yeah, especially when she first got to AEW, it was real bad. It's like, somebody please get her. You know, take the pen and paper away from her. So. Anybody see anything they wanted to talk about here lately that they saw?
Oh, well, I wanted to talk about something I saw on Monday night. It was a movie at the theaters.
Oh, yeah.
I watched Terrifier 3. Never watched Terrifier 2. Never watched Terrifier 1. And honestly, I think Terrifier 3, just coming at it, not knowing anything, really good movie. And the reason why I also mention it is because Chris Jericho comes out in that movie.
Really?
Yeah, he comes on.
I heard him on an interview talking about it recently.
Yeah, he comes on that movie, which is really neat. I think it's really cool. And but other than that, I mean, the movie is pretty gory. Like, everybody dies pretty gruesome. Like, there's
I think Chris Jericho, he's behind the scenes. I think he's a producer or something on all 3 of those movies, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I know he was in the second one. I seen that on when I looked it up. But
yeah, ever since I watched the third one, it makes me want to watch the second one first.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of them. I remember when
really
you came home and you were talking about it, how you looked them up when we were in the game chat and all that.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
So, you guys want to explain how you guys got to know each other?
Well,
I sold him foot picks, and we
nice.
No,
ladies and gentlemen, if you need foot picks, Crawley, he has a website. He has an OnlyFans. Check it out.
Now go ahead, Slender.
No, yeah. I mean, we met through another friend of ours named Juggalo Playboy, right? Same thing.
Playboy Juggalo, yeah.
Different Playboy than the one that he wrestled with, but same name. And from there, I mean, we've just been playing fighting games ever since. We've been playing Tekken, Street Fighter, you name it. Marvel's Capcom, we played a couple times, I believe.
Among Us, we just played that like an hour ago.
Among Us, yeah, we played.
Oh, where was the invite, man? You know,
Dude,
I love
we need
Among.
people.
I love
If you
Among
want
Us.
to come,
Yeah, I'm down.
please. We're always like short one person, and it is.
I was
so
just
frustrating.
I was just playing Among Us earlier by myself, just in a random lobby. So
We play a little different. We actually talk the whole time.
oh yeah, no, I like to talk the whole time. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Online, there isn't much
Once
talking.
one of us dies, then you just mute your mic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
No snitching.
no
But you're more than welcome to play with us, man. We could use the help.
Yeah, I'm down. And if I'm the imposter, trust me, I'm not gonna get that many kills.
you got to play it off,
Or will
man.
I?
Last time I won.
I have
how many times was it?
I have
Probably
one. I have one clip on my Twitch channel. I'll put the link in the description. But it is from Among Us where I had killed somebody right in front of somebody and they reported it, and I was able to convince everybody else that he had self-reported. So we kicked him instead, and I won.
I got a good one. Once I was playing with a guy, and for some reason he wanted like a buddy with him the whole time. I was the imposter. So, but early on, I killed someone somewhere, and then we met. Oh, you want to just go together? I'm like, let's go, buddy. So we're going around together. That person got found. The body got found. Someone got voted out. And we followed each other the whole time. I'd hit the lights, go kill someone, and come back. And we both cleared each other, so no one suspected me. Oh,
Wow.
that's such a sweet win. He was so shocked. He was horrified. Like, Crawley, that was you the whole time? You were with me the whole time. Like, yeah, sorry, buddy.
Oh damn, Bob! I'm going to have to show you this game the next time you come over and get you to try it out.
All right.
Fire up the gaming PC and let you try it.
So speaking of gaming PCs, two different guys I work with at work, they each got a gaming PC, and they each want to sell them. And I'm telling them I'm interested. I want to see pictures and shit. I'm like, tell me about it. Show me some pictures. Text them to me. So I'm just waiting to see these pics of them. And I might end up getting a gaming PC and getting into some gaming, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I haven't been much of a gamer. I mean, I like games. I like video games. I just never had time or the finances really. But
Gotcha.
things, getting a little better for me. So
Before you go to buy it, get the price and the specs on it.
Yeah.
I'll let Slenderman know. He knows a lot about PCs and stuff, so he'll be able to tell you if it's a fair deal or not.
Absolutely.
like I know the one guy he only wants 400 for his, and the other guy I think he said like 350 or something. Each one of them told me it's a couple $1,000 setup or something. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if they were
Well, either way,
if they were trying to get $1,000 out of you, I would be like, just build your own.
Yeah.
Right.
But that doesn't sound too bad. You just gotta see what the specs are. So, but ladies,
I got a wrestling question.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. You're good.
Oh, what two wrestlers who never wrestled each other? Which two would you like to see wrestle? Living or dead, retired, whatever.
Never wrestled each other, huh?
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And also, I was curious who your favorite wrestlers were, because you had that Mount Rushmore or Mountmore, whatever you said, Slender. It was pretty funny. I saw that, but are those your picks for the most like influential wrestlers of our time, or your personal favorites?
Just personal favorites.
Those are my personal favorites. I mean,
personal favorites. It was not influential. No,
If-
because we know who was the most influential of all time.
now, as to your question, if I could, if they were in their prime, like Rick in his prime, in a feud with MJF, man, that would be some money.
That'd be money for sure.
Dude.
MJF is a bad boy.
He's a bad man on the mic, but
it's gonna go.
Rick in his prime on the mic.
Dude, can you imagine the pop he's gonna get when he comes out at like WrestleMania or something? Like if they kept him.
That's if he ever switches over. You know?
Yeah, for sure. I think he will eventually one day. You know what I'm saying? But if they did it like kind of like how they do CM Punk sometimes, like a build for him without a build for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like sell out an arena on a whim that he's gonna be there. I think if he came out at WrestleMania, dude, the pop he would get would be crazy.
Yeah. What about you? What's your answer, Slenderman?
For me, honestly, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. But correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they've ever fought. If they have, then shit. I don't know. But I would have to probably say if they were in their prime, it would probably have to be that one dude, British Bulldog, and it would have to be I want to say somebody who was good at, I say a match for him who would be closer to, I guess, modern day would probably be like Cena, or should I say Cena?
Cena? Okay.
Yeah, Cena. Maybe Cena and British Bulldog. I would have liked to see that fight. Them two just power lifting each other.
Dan Bob, what about you?
What was the question again?
Two wrestlers who've never wrestled each other alive or dead.
Okay. I'd say Fuego del Sol. And Chris Benoit.
Nice.
I don't know, for some reason I dig Fuego, man. I think he took wrestling serious, you know.
Right.
I think his wrestling style was great. You know what ring time he got and TV time he got, he made the best out of it. I still catch him online, you know, on YouTube or whatnot. Man, I just think somebody like that definitely deserves a break. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Honorary mention for me would be Bad Bunny versus Dennis Rodman. Man, that would have been something.
What?
I'm just messing around.
No.
Hey, Bad Bunny ain't bad though in the ring, man.
I ain't never seen it. I don't want to see it.
For real, dude, you need to check out his match that he had against your favorite, the bisexual Undertaker. Actually, it was a really good match, and it was in Puerto Rico. The crowd was into it, dude.
No, really?
Yeah.
Both those guys are from there anyway, so I suppose.
Has John, or not John, has Eddie Guerrero and Bret Hart ever went at it?
I doubt it.
I don't think so. I don't think they were ever in the same company at the same time. That would have been a good one.
That was what I was thinking.
I think they were in WCW together, maybe.
I think so, for a little bit.
Yeah, maybe, but they didn't touch.
I think they were on different levels. You know what I'm saying? Like Brett was way up here, and Eddie was like here at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were in WCW together because the Radicals didn't leave until like right around 2000.
Something like that.
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
I'm surprised.
That
Nobody
sounds
said
about right.
the all-time dream match, Sting versus Taker, the match that could have happened that never did.
I suppose.
Damn, that's a good one. Yeah.
I mean, everybody wanted it. Everybody talked about it for decades. Yeah, but
That would have been awesome.
Sting
Yeah.
and Taker. Okay.
Yeah, like what was Vince's issue? What was Vince's
I wanted to pick.
not booking that?
I think it was. It wasn't just him. It was Vince didn't see the appeal of it, and Sting. He didn't always agree with everything WWF was doing or WWE was doing. So, he
I have a question for you guys. I have a question.
Yeah.
So you guys know how Taker lost his streak at WrestleMania to Lesnar, right?
Yeah. Should have never happened.
Yeah.
Streak should have lived forever.
Agreed.
I just have a question. This is it is obviously hypothetical, but I'm just gonna say this: in the prime of both of them, in Taker's prime, well, I don't want to say prime. I want to say a specific version of Taker,
Okay.
but I will say prime Brock Lesnar. Prime Brock Lesnar versus American Badass Taker. Do you think Taker would have taken Lesnar, or you think Lesnar would have taken Taker?
I would say probably Lesnar. I don't know. That badass gimmick of his, it wasn't my favorite, and
It wasn't mine either, but it was just a thought that came to my head. You know what I'm saying? It's just a thought that came to my head because we've seen Dead Man. Obviously what happened to there, but obviously he wasn't in his prime. But I just wanted to see your thoughts on the American Badass version of Taker.
I'd say Lesnar personally.
Yeah.
Lesnar, yeah. All right, yeah. I would say the same thing too.
I'm trying to think if when he was doing the American Badass gimmick,
motorcycle.
They may have wrestled each other, around that time.
It's possible. Yeah.
Because I mean, he was in the American Badass gimmick for a hot minute, and
yeah, he was
really like, when did he go back to the Dead Minute? Like 2008.
It was somewhere around there. I think he got injured or something like that. He had disappeared.
It had to be like 08. And Lesnar was around before that, so they had to have wrestled each other as American Badass. And just
You're probably
Brock
right.
Lesnar.
You're probably right.
Right.
I'd bet on it.
Yeah, me too.
I think so.
Especially Brock was on SmackDown, so that was Taker's show. Yeah, they probably touched. All right, ladies. Oh, I was going to cut. Go ahead. I was going to cut off.
I just popped in my head. Who would be your most overrated wrestler of all time?
Roman Reigns.
Really, Roman?
No, I'm just gonna. I don't even have to think about it. I just said it straight out. I didn't have to think about it. Roman Reigns.
What about you, Dan?
I
need a second to think about that one.
I mean, off the top of my head, quickly, like Slender Man said, Roman. I mean, I like Roman's character, being the heel.
It's cool.
Before that,
I'm tired of his ass. I'm tired of his ass.
And it's just based on skill, not really fan appeal.
Ah, man,
that's what I'm looking at.
For me, personally, this is gonna be controversial. Hulk Hogan. I was never a fan of that man. I
can agree with you.
I didn't feel like he was good in the ring. I didn't feel like he was that great on the mic.
Oh, and I have the headset.
He definitely wasn't great in the ring.
No,
I loved the Hulkster, bro. When I was a kid,
I did too.
Man,
But
he
as
was
far as like wrestling ability,
right.
I would have said
just-
Goldberg.
Oh, Goldberg, yeah,
Yeah, he had it.
he was.
Not great.
He's definitely
You
overrated.
know who else? You know who else had really good wrestling ability? William Regal.
Yeah.
He gave
yeah.
Goldberg the best 8 minutes of his life.
8 minutes of hell.
Oh yeah.
I love it. I said
We
it
talked about that
specifically
before,
for that
man.
match.
Yeah.
I said it specifically so you guys can bring up the match. I love it.
Oh, dude. Hey, look, I'm repping old school Regal, baby. You know, the plan, the working man Regal.
You know who else I really liked as a heel when he was going against Rey Mysterio, I believe, and John Cena, JBL.
Dude, JBL, his singles run was really good.
He was great, dude. Always his
Didn't he do
deadliest
some of
move
that TNA?
when he would throw you to the clothesline. To pick up
Yeah, I
his
think he's been doing some stuff with them. Like he's popped up
What is
on a
he
couple of
here
their shows.
for? What is he doing here?
Yeah, I
In
seen.
the impact zone.
Oh,
Oh,
you know who?
speaking
Oh,
of John
sorry.
Cena, he'd be on that list too. Overrated in the ring.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right in the ring, yeah.
He looks, whenever he takes a bump, he looks like a newborn baby trying to walk but falling down. It just looks weird.
No, I was
Wait,
definitely not.
hold on.
Well, I'll say this: early Cena, like when he was doing the rapping gimmick and all of that. You know, I was just young enough to where that was like cool. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't stay cool. I was ready for him to go after a minute. So
I wanted to see him turn heel. I always
Dude,
wondered.
yeah.
what he
Yes.
would do.
yeah,
Yeah.
But he would have to turn heel like not like Hulk Hogan as Hollywood Hogan. He'd have to turn heel like Steve Austin, like fuck you type heel. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion.
No,
Yeah.
you know who else I think was a pretty good wrestler and was being he was pretty good on the mic and on his wrestling. I don't know about you guys, but I was a kid. I was watching him growing up, and it was the one guy. He got fired. He got let go because of Randy Orton.
Oh,
This
I know
guy.
who you're talking about. God, what?
It's the guy. It's the guy. He was the
Mr.
guy for the ring.
Kennedy.
Anderson.
Yeah,
Oh, Kennedy.
yeah.
I was thinking of the Matrix.
Well, no. I think he went by Anderson in TNA.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
he did?
but that
Oh,
guy
okay.
right there, I thought he was really good in the ring. Super good.
I like that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
just thought
yeah.
his gimmick was
It's
cool
just
too.
sad. It's just sad that he was let go because of Randy Orton.
Yeah, divas getting people fired.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
snakes getting people fired. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it, Mr. Viper?
So, I think we'll end it on this. Let me ask you guys who, like, your favorite, like, wrestling parody character was.
Eugene.
Eugene? Nice.
I think Eugene was a good parody comic character. Either that or Yucko the Clown. Was it Yucko?
Doink?
I think he counts.
I'm thinking
Doink or Dink.
Oh, yeah, Dink. Yeah.
Dinky Doink.
No, I was gonna say I don't know if he counts as a parody. In my mind, he kind of does, but Crash Holly.
Crash Holly, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't know if that counts though. He was kind of a parody, but became his own thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think he started off as.
something else.
For me,
What
it's.
about?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, dude.
Oh, I was going to say, for me, it's Gilbert with the sparklers.
That's what I was gonna say, bro. What the hell? I knew I
Yeah.
Man, there's something
Oh.
about that.
Will Sasso as Stone Cold.
Will Sasso stuff. Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah, I love Will Sasso. He's funny.
Hearing him talk about, like, I've seen him talk about the stuff he did in some podcasts. Who was it? Heyman gave me the best advice. You know, when you get out there and you want to look nervous, just act like you got a pencil in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that dude he loves wrestling. And it's just, I like hearing him talk about it. Passionate.
Yeah. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. If you haven't liked, commented, and subscribed, go ahead and do that. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. Subscribe.
And tell somebody.
Tell somebody. Tell a friend. Tell a stranger. Hell, tell a wrestler to subscribe to the House of Grim podcast.
Matter of fact, do me a favor. Go knock on your neighbor's door and load up the video on his TV via AirPlay. Okay?
And that's straight from the House of Grim's uncle, Joey Diaz, basically. Slender Man.
You do it, cocksucker. It's good for you. You understand me?
Slender Man.
So you guys will be entertained. Yeah.
Hoorah.